So I have a minute after 1 o'clock. I'll get us going here. Or actually, it's 1 o'clock. I'm jumping the gun. But anyway, it's 1 o'clock. This is Ed Crow. Thanks for joining today. We're going to go over Best Plan Pro today. We've had Best Plan Pro for a couple months now. I, guilty as charged, didn't really dig into it a lot until about a few weeks ago and really liked what it offers. So I'm going to talk about it today and go over some details with you. I think there's a few things with it that you'll find really helpful. I know when I was selling final expense, if I had this, it would have saved me a lot of time. But we'll talk about it today. I do record these webinars for those who haven't been on with me before. I record them, and everybody that registers will get a copy of the recording. So if you want to watch one of our webinars for future reference, but you can't make the time, you're not available then, just register and you'll get the recording. We do them every Wednesday and Thursday, most Wednesdays and Thursdays at 1 o'clock. Usually we do Medicare topics. We sprinkle in a few other things that are of interest here and there. So this is an example of it, but usually Medicare based. I always mention this and rarely get any volunteers, but if anybody for future reference has a topic they'd like me to go over, please just email me or call us and make the suggestion, because I'm always looking for new ideas of material to go over that people might find helpful. And it could be really any insurance related topic. So that's always an open invitation. If you have any questions, send them into the question box at the bottom. I'll answer them for you at the end. And like I said, this shouldn't run too long. So today we're going to talk about Best Plan Pro. And for those familiar with like Sunfire or Connecture, it's a similar system, but for final expense. So it's a final expense system. It does have a built-in CRM. It will compare plans. It will process underwriting for plans. So it will do all the evaluation for underwriting, which I'll show you, which is, I think, really cool. I'll talk about the enrollment and talk about the cost of it to use it. It's a web-based platform. I'm only doing one slide. Maybe I'm lying. Maybe it's two. But just before we get started, just a reminder, the programs we offer. So we have a Medicare lead program. It's for leads, marketing, or advertising. If you have your active Medicare contracts with us, this is available to you. We will reimburse you up to $500 a month towards leads, marketing, or advertising for Medicare. Obviously, we can give you more details. If you have questions about it, just call us or email us, and we'll send you the full program and the details. But there are no minimums to start with it. There's no reduction in comp. It's pretty straightforward. And it can be from any company, from any source, or really for anything creative you can think of for Medicare marketing. We have a T65 Medicare seminar program that's been super popular. It's worked as well or better than I had hoped. We've been rolling that out in multiple states, and it is a company that puts people in seats for you to do T65 Medicare seminars. They're averaging 40 to 60 people. We've had as low as 40, I would say, as high as over 100 for T65 Medicare seminars. So the program's turnkey. You just got to find the location. You really don't have to do much other than that, and it works great. So if you have questions about that, let us know. We offer Connecture, Sunfire, and My Medicare Bot at no cost, all three of them. If you have questions about any of them, we can send you information about it if you'd like. We will definitely help agents and agencies with search optimization. That's how we got our SEO where it is with Crow. We do that homegrown in the office. We don't pay for it. Certainly can show you how to do the same. It's really not that complicated. Well, if I can figure it out, it can't be that complicated. So we can definitely show you that. And certainly like to work with agencies, GAs, MGAs, SGAs, and help them grow. That's our biggest growth is through helping our partner agencies add sub-agents and grow. So Best Plan Pro, the reason you got on. So it's kind of like FEX Quoter initially. So it'll show all carriers. You can either have it quote and compare and give you prices for all carriers that you're appointed with, or you can have it show all carriers, even the ones you're not appointed with. So you have the option to do both. You can run multiple quotes at the same time. The quotes are tailor-made based around the client's health and finances. So in other words, you can put in health conditions for that client, and it will automatically, when you run the quotes, show you what every given plan would give them. So based on a certain health condition, I'll get more specific in a minute, but it will, when you run it, it'll show you, if this person has the type 2 diabetic, it'll show you when you run the quotes, okay, with these two companies or 3 or 4, they'd be level. With this company, they'd be graded. With this one, they'd be guaranteed issue only kind of thing. It's a big time saver in that regard. You can also set the finances if you want and say, I want to run a quote. This person is this age and can only spend $40 a month, and it will run it accordingly and adjust the face amounts with each carrier based on the $40. So it's really nice in that regard. It will show all plan types when you quote it, for example. So again, it'll show level, modified, graded, GI when you run the quote, and it will automatically adjust for what the carrier would give based on their health. It is a CRM, so it'll save all prospects and client data. When you enter a client, it's very easy. I mean, you put in, it's final expense, so you're putting in their name, zip code, date of birth, and height and weight. And then if there's any health conditions or medications, you load those in. If you want to load information from another system, you can do that. You can upload an Excel file and populate Best Plan Pro with all that information for all maybe existing clients, prospects, whatever it may be. Talked over my bullet point, of course, but again, you don't have to enter a lot. Their name, date of birth, height, weight, state, and medications if you want to enter them. If they're taking medications but you don't know what health issue they have, it will, when you enter the medication, just like Sunfire, Connecture, MyMedicare.com, it will automatically pick that medication and it knows what medical conditions go with it. So it'll give you a choice of medical conditions based on that med, which is really nice. So you can save the medication list as well. If they have any health issues, it'll save that as well. It'll auto-populate the medication name. So if you're typing in hydrochlorothiazide and you don't know how to spell it, it'll just auto-fill it. And then it'll auto-fill a selection for you to make of health conditions related to taking that medication. Really, to me, I think that's a huge time saver. Okay, so you can make plan comparisons. It'll compare plans from the least to most expensive. It'll assign the plan type based on the criteria entered. So this, to me, was the big time saver. So I'll give you a good example. When I was trying this out, I put in a person who had had a heart attack 9 years ago. Now, when I wrote final expense, I was never a huge final expense producer, but I certainly wrote enough of it to know. If somebody came to me and said I had a heart attack 9 years ago and here's the 3 meds I take, I either would be thinking, well, okay, I can start looking at every app and pulling underwriting guides for multiple companies, spend a lot of time to try to find if there's somebody that will give this person a level plan. Or I could just be lazy and say, you know what, you just need to go guaranteed issue. I'd enroll them in either AIG, Sons of Norway, or Gerber, and I'd call it a day. And by doing that, I was costing them a lot more money. They had a 2-year wait on the death benefit, and I was really taking a huge commission cut. Well, when I ran that scenario in Best Plan Pro, it immediately showed me the one plan or two maybe that would give them level. So it does it for you, which was amazing. And it showed me the plans that would be graded or modified with that person and the plans that wouldn't take them at all. So a huge time saver. And also, by giving them the level plan, I'm going to get paid the most that way too. So I thought just from that standpoint alone, I really liked it and wished I had it when I was writing more final expense. It also will show you when you run it, it'll show you any of the riders that are available for each given company. And then another big thing to me is when I used to do final expense, if there was a random company I wasn't that familiar with that came out with the best rate and I wanted to write them, sometimes I didn't have a paper app for them. Or, I knew they had an e-app or a voice signature, but I didn't know how, what was the company's website. I had to log in. It sometimes was a hassle to try to, a carrier I wasn't familiar with, it was a hassle to try to figure out, how to do the app. Well, on Best Plan Pro, it will automatically take you right to the e-app or voice app. So you don't have to do that. It's built in the system. Now, you do have to be appointed with the company if it's going to take you to their e-app to enroll the person. But it does it for you, so you don't have to go looking around trying to find an app, which I really liked. You can save all the data when you run these quotes, so you can save it, go to the e-app, or you can save it and email it to the client if you'd like. Obviously, with this system, there's no need for face-to-face, so it's very handy for phone sales from that standpoint. I already got a little ahead of myself and talked about the underwriting, but again, it automatically assigns based on the criteria. And based on that criteria, you know that's what the company will give them, so it doesn't make mistakes in that regard. If you've entered the medications and the health conditions right, you know, you can rest assured that's what they're going to be able to get with that company. So again, as I mentioned, I did a scenario with heart attack. I ran one with a stroke too. Somebody who had had a stroke. In the past, I would have put that GI, and lo and behold, there was a company that I've actually never ridden that came up that would go level for them. So really saves a lot of time and eliminates the need to, again, pull apps and look at the questions on the app, pull underwriting guides, or call the company rep or whatever it may be. Enrollment, I already talked about this a little too, but it is auto-enroll. So what will happen is when you're in there, you decide you want to give somebody a plan, you've talked about it, it'll automatically take you to the re-app, so you don't have to fumble around trying to figure that out. No need. You do need to be contracted with the carrier in order to do that. And you still can see all the quotes from the companies, even the ones you're not appointed with. It just won't take you to the e-app if you're not appointed with them. One thing you do have to note on this is in order for it to port you automatically into the e-app for a given carrier, you need to have logged into that carrier's e-app one time. So what's nice is, yeah, it's a little work, but each carrier you're going to write, you have to have logged in to that portal once, and then it's automatically going to take you for future reference anytime. So makes it pretty easy from that standpoint. And also with that, I was going to mention is, you know, it takes the guesswork out of, if you're writing in multiple states, is this a same time state or not? Do I need to be appointed first, or is it a same time state where I got to do my first app anyway? And then if I got to do my first app, I don't have the app, you know, that kind of thing. So I think this is a huge time saver and really efficient when it comes to final expense. Talk about the cost of it. So the cost, if you just go to Best Plan Pro and enroll, it's $60 a month. The cost with Crow and Pinnacle is $19.95 a month. So we have a very good deal on the cost of this software. If you write a minimum of 5 cases a month through us, then there would be no cost. So again, $60 normally, we reduce it to $19.95 just for anybody who wants to use it. If you got a couple carriers with us, if you write at least 5 cases a month through us, then it would cost you nothing. If you're interested in this product or want to know more information, we do have a blog we made on this. We can send you the link to that. I can send you a link to contract if there's certain carriers you want. And if you ultimately decide that you want access to Best Plan Pro, we can email you a link out to sign up for that as well. And again, you do have to have, you know, you can talk to us, but we're going to want you to have some of the more competitive carriers with us in order to give you the discounted rate on the cost of it for obvious reasons, I would think. That's it. That was quick. I did a quick run through of it. But the idea of, I just wanted to kind of see briefly the value of it. I don't think, again, initially, I don't think I understood like how much time it can save and what a good system it really is, and how convenient it is. But if you have any questions, let me know. I will see if anybody sent in any questions, first of all. Let's see. Doesn't look like we have any questions. Okay, no problem at all. If you do have any questions for future reference, you can just call us or email us. Be happy to talk to you about it. I think in a couple of days here, I am going to tape a demo of using the system. I was going to do that, and quite frankly, just didn't get to it in time. But I will record a demo of, you know, just doing a quote. It's very straightforward, just like I talked about, but just to show you how it works. But if you have any questions, let us know. Remember that we're going to send you a copy of the recording if you registered. Other than that, if there's any questions, give us a call. I appreciate you attending today, and I hope everybody has a great weekend. Thank you.